Okay, the last thing I want to say, some of you have mentioned legacy, and everybody's saying, oh, Aryae, you're going to have a legacy. What's your legacy? And I've been thinking here, based on what all of you have said, and some of our folks on Skype have said, the legacy that I think we all have together in common is community, and the friendships and connection and learning. But not only that, the sort of habits, If I have the habit of being on my own, I'm competing with everybody to some extent. If I have the habit of being in community, I know what happens when we share learning together, when we share support. That's one of the legacies that we have as community. I think there's a second legacy that we have, and I don't know if all of you would agree with me, but for me it's been very much, it's that double bottom line. On the one hand, make a difference in your work, in your organization, and the success of whoever it is you're connected with. And the second is make a difference in the world, change the world. And we've shared that double bottom line with each other. And once you've had that experience, it doesn't go away, it doesn't disappear. It's going to inform all of us in our lives. I have to share something, a conversation Lisa and I had. Lisa was one of the VPs at HP, and she and I were talking. And I was fascinated because Lisa had started off in the Philippines in relatively modest beginnings and had worked her way up to a level of great success in what she was doing at HP. And you were spending some of your time running a non-profit organization, OICW, which was working with at-risk youth in East Palo Alto to help them sort of learn how to enter the workforce. And I said, why are you spending all this time on this? Don't you have some goals that you have, business goals that you have to meet? And isn't that pretty consuming? And the answer that Lisa gave to me was, when I reached the end of my life and they asked me, what was your life about? I want to be able to say something more than, I helped a big company make a little more money. I mean, that's not bad, but I want to be able to say something more than that. That's also part of our legacy as a community. Yeah, we help our organizations be successful. And yeah, we also do a little something more than that to help change the world. The final piece that I want to say, several of you have alluded to it as well as Eddie, is mentoring the next generation. We have had a mentor program, and I think it's been one of the most satisfying, for me, satisfying things that we've done. And some of the people who've been involved, there's Eileen, and there's Deborah, and there's Stephen, and there is Peg, and who else have been some of the mentors? Did I leave anybody out here? Rocky. Greg. Imagine if you had to pay these folks, on an hourly scale to sit down in this program. It would be unaffordable. They volunteered their time because mentoring really makes a difference. That's how we pass it on. That's how we pass on the knowledge of how to make a difference and the double bottom line as well. So that's our legacy, all of us, is community, is the double bottom line, and is passing it on to the next generation. So let's not stop now. Let's keep it going. Hmm.